Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at Ethereum again. We've had a nice move up overnight like we were talking about in the previous video, and we're going to be investigating where we think this is going to go from here. So before we jump into that, I'd just like to say if you're enjoying the content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and why not leave us some feedback down in the comment section below. Okay, so let's get into this. So we need to change this slightly. What we're talking about here is the potential that we're looking for a 5-wave move to the upside, and for the most part this does seem to be fulfilled. So we were looking for two things. So I just want to go over this quickly, and what we're looking at is the potential of this being an ABC to the upside. And if I go onto this low point, up into this high point, and extend this out with the fib, basically, let me get it right on this low point here. So we can see we've actually come up and we've hit that 1-to-1 already. So the move has been fulfilled, though the subwaves are indicating we could see some further extension here. So an area we could potentially look to target is this 1283 or this 1296 if we look to continue progressing. Though if we do move up above this 131672 zone, actually what we'd have to look at is a potential for a bigger impulsive trigger, or a bigger impulse here rather. And what we would be looking for then, if I just switch this over, I think I still have it on here. Where's the breakout there? Basically what we could be looking for is the fact if we do reach this point, we'd have a bigger impulse here, which would be looking to target out this higher range here at this 1359 to this 1337. So we were talking about this a while back, and but for the time being, we don't have any indication that we're actually going to reach this 131672 area. So it's just something we need to bear in mind. If we do actually start to see further progression to the upside here, then what we could be looking at is a bigger 5-wave move here. But for the moment, with the information we have, we need to just have a look at this again. And let's bring this back down. So within this move though, the subwaves are slightly different. So what we were talking about previously is the fact that we could be looking at a 1-2-1-2 situation, and for the most part this seems to have played out. So if we move this up here now, effectively what we would have here, I'm going to delete these subwaves here, and I'm actually going to clear some of this. So what we were looking for within this move is the fact that we could have seen some extension within here. And basically what we'd be looking at here is this is a 1, 2. I have to say this is a 3rd wave completed. And then we'd be looking for this 4th wave and this 5th wave to the upside. So within this move, effectively what we'd be looking for is the potential to come down for a 5th wave, for a 4th wave, and the typical area for this would be between this 236 and this 382 zone. It can come lower towards this 50%, but we wouldn't want to see it go much lower than that. So I'm going to just draw this little box area on here, and effectively that is this 1249 to this 1234. So we've met the minimum requirement of it, though I would be expecting a deeper move here. And based off of this wave 2, I wouldn't say that's enough to warrant the same correction. So we would want to see a move that's similar in size to this within this wave 4. So that's what we need to be looking out for, and that basically could take us into this zone here. So the upper range has been met, but I don't think that that this is completed yet. And what I'd be looking for here is actually the potential that we could drop down as low as, but not really wanting to go lower than this 1234 zone. This 382 is an interesting zone. This could come back and test this zone here, which was previous support, and see how we get on there. And basically within this move, we wouldn't want to actually drop back below this 1224. If we drop below this 1224, it would actually invalidate this 5th wave. So I'm going to take this off this 0.382 retracement here. And if this does play out, what we would be potentially looking for here then is additional push to the upside. So the target area that I'd have for this as a typical wave 5 would be this 1278 to this 1269 zone. And this zone here could effectively be the completion of the of this white wave 5. So if this is the case, we would look for this push up into this area, and then we would be looking for further retracement. So that further retracement, so this would then complete this third wave which started all the way down here. And this would be 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the wave 3 completed. And then we'd be looking for this additional fourth and fifth wave. So if this does play out, as we've got it indicated here, what would be, it depends exactly where this falls within this range. But if we just go onto there, we could be looking for potentially coming down and retesting this same zone with this next fourth wave. So sometimes what will happen within these fourth wave moves is we'll look to retest the same area as the previous fourth. So once we get this fourth wave in here, we can actually use that potentially to look for the secondary fourth as a target area. We need more than just that for confluence. We'll have to actually monitor the structure, but basically I'd be looking for a move further down towards wherever this fourth wave lands. If we do retrace to that 382 and we look to push up again, we could look to potentially push up as high as this 1294 to this 1281 zone. So this would bring us up into this zone here, and we'd look potentially for rejection from this area here. And I'm just going to throw some labels on this quickly because I want to do something in a second. So within this move, we can see that we could actually potentially move up to this zone here. And we were talking about this breakout potential. And we can see that this actually falls short of that typical third wave. So what we would then be looking for is, actually I can delete this one, is this to just be an ABC completed move. So with this, if we do see this extension to the upside like this, I'm going to remove this breakout now because I don't need it anymore. Where's the breakout? There. If we throw this fib back on you, from this low point up into this high point here, I'll have to readjust that down into there. There we go. We can see that this little target area here actually lines up quite nicely with this 1236 and this 1382 zone. So this could be a little bit of an area that we could look to target out. So this 1283 would actually fall within this box. And then if we do break slightly higher, depending on how these waves form, we could actually look to target out this 1296 zone. So the other thing that I wanted to check here is between these, if we have any confluence of the overall move to the downside. And if we throw this onto the slow point here, get on there, and we move this across, we can see that the 0.618 sits within this first box, and then also the 702 sits within the second box. So it is possible that we could look to target out one of these areas. So either this 1271 as a 0.618 for this first rejection, and then we'll have to see whether we get this additional fifth wave to the upside here. And what we'd be looking for there is basically the fact that we've got this additional fourth down into here and this push up again. This fifth wave might look to retest the 786, depending exactly on how these waves form, because this is just worked off of fibs. So until we get actual structure here, it's a little bit of guesswork where we think it's actually going to go, because we don't have the correct structure. The structure is the most important thing. These fib levels are just used as a confirmation rather than a sort of prediction tool. So we can see that there's a few little zones here. So the 702 sits within our typical fifth wave area here, and that's between the 1236 and the 1382. So there is a little bit of a cluster here that could indicate that we actually might see some upside potential here, where we're going to see a move up into this zone. And as long as we stay below that 1.618 zone of that 1316.72, I would just be looking at this as a corrective structure. And we're going to talk about what we'd be looking at then is basically, I'm going to remove this off the screen, and we're going to be talking about the fact that we were looking for this as a as an ABC to the downside. So this would have been, we're looking for this to be a 1-2 situation. This one, yeah. So effectively, we're still looking for this potential teal 5-wave move to the downside, and we've been talking about this for a while, and it is possible that these moves would actually complete this wave 2, and then we'd start looking for that drop to the downside. So if we actually move up into our little target area that we have here, actually let me go into the 4 hourly, make this a bit easier. What we would be looking for here is the potential that we move down as a wave 1 into this low point. I'll have to adjust that, and then looking for that wave 2 to the upside. So that would move this impulsive trigger slightly higher, depending on how exactly where we land up with this, and that would be looking for this 3rd wave. So if we move into that yellow box area, our 3rd wave would typically move towards this 990.12 zone, and then we'd be looking for that additional 4th and 5th wave down, which could take us down. I'm actually going to just recalculate this. It all depends exactly where the waves form, but we could look to potentially target out this 966 to this 929 area if we move up into this box zone, which also ties in with that. Actually, no, let's not can't see it anymore. Which also looks to potentially target out the C wave target, which was the 867. So if we do see some extension here, that might actually be where we look to target out towards, is this 867 zone as an ABC, and then that would take us closer towards our basically our target area of looking for that diagonal shape. So we're gonna have to see how these moves develop and keep an eye on them, and just see and make sure that we don't come down and invalidate this potential 1-2. Invalidation of this potential for this bigger 5-wave move to the downside only comes by dropping or moving back above this 1352 zone, 1352.72 to be exact. If we move back above that, that would actually invalidate this, and would have to look at the structure in a different way. Potentially as a B and then a C wave to the upside if that does play out. So we just need to keep an eye on that and see how we progress. Though I do think that we have setting up quite nicely for a drop here. The daily stochastic is back into the overbought region, only just, but it's getting in there. The weekly has some room now. It's low, but it can still just drop off from here. We could see a move up to potentially this 50% and look for a drop, or we could actually just start to move back down from here. So there is quite a lot that is sort of indicating that we could see that downward pressure come in upon completion of this structure to the upside. Okay, so I hope you found the video useful. If you did, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and why not leave us some feedback in the comment section down below. In the description, you will find an affiliate link to BYBIT. This is the exchange that we use when we're doing our trades, whether that's longing the market, shorting the market, spot or leverage. It really is a great exchange. They have great risk management tools within there. Before you even initiate your trade, you can set it up and it'll tell you your liquidation price. When you put your stop loss and take profit in, it'll give you all the values of what you would be expecting to get as profit and loss, all before you've actually engaged the trade. So it really is a great platform. Also in the description, you will find a link to the Discord. Why not come and have a chat with us? Once you're in the general chat area, just mention a member of staff. We'll be happy to help you out with anything that you may need. And yeah, we'll see each other in the next video. And I hope everyone takes care of themselves, and we'll see you then. Cheers.